All right, y'all. So I think that these moments where cis heteronormativity eats itself, these moments are so interesting to observe because transphobia is proving yet again that it is not only extremely dangerous for trans women, but cis women are at risk as well. Let's discuss it.
Headlock, got him in a headlock. Music to my ears, I'm about to make your head pop. Headlock, got him in a headlock.
So big news from the Olympics or whatever. Angela Carini, this Italian boxer, quit a match against Imane Khelif, Algerian boxer, after 45 seconds. After 45 seconds. Angela said that she quit because of the pain from Khelif's opening punches, adding that her nose bled afterwards. She said, what did Angela say? She said, my face and nose were hurting. I couldn't breathe anymore. I thought about my family. I looked at my brother in the stands and I went to my corner to retire. I've never been hit with such a powerful punch. She was crying hysterically. And so that comment of like, oh, I've never been punched so hard, I've never been hit so hard, gave very much dog whistle, right? And it started this entire transvestigation on Imane Khelif. Now, the controversy is so interesting to me because Imane Khelif is assigned female at birth. She literally has all the body parts that transphobic people require her to have, and still it isn't enough, or transphobic people require women to have, and it's still not enough. They're still calling her a man. And I've seen I've seen people do this to Serena Williams, my whole life. Women of color are always on the chopping block, right? And then you couple that with white women tears, and now we've got a whole transvestigation going on. It was blowing up the timeline. It was all over the mainstream news. It was ridiculous. I mean, they brought up testosterone levels as if women and men don't produce testosterone and estrogen, obviously at different levels or whatever, but each individual is different. And we didn't even talk about intersex people. It's just like they started talking about chromosomes and genetic physiological advantages. And anytime y'all bring up physiological or physical advantages, I'm always going to bring up Michael Phelps because he had all the advantages on the planet. He had all the advantages in the world. Especially when it comes to swimming and stuff. And y'all still awarded him. Now, to me, the truth of the matter is that gender, like everything, like so many other things, is socially constructed. It's just proof of it. Because by transphobic people's own rules of gender essentialism, if Imane has the physiological equipment in her pants of a woman, then she should automatically be a woman, especially like I said to y'all, gender essentialist people. If she has the physical equipment, the equipment in her pants of a woman, then she should automatically be a woman, especially in the eyes of people who are gender essentialist, transphobic in that way, right? So what's the issue? The real issue is that she is a strong woman, a competent woman, a talented woman, of color, with certain physical features that people feel uncomfortable attributing to a woman, though she is one. And so people's brains break when they try to categorize her. And this is the entire issue. Shoving people into categories so that society can feel comfortable, right, interacting with certain people can be very dangerous. What people are actually saying is that no, it takes more than just what's in your pants to make you a woman. And it's so interesting because that argument sounds very similar to what people are saying when people who want people to live in their own truth and identity, is that it takes more than just parts. Like, you're more than just body parts. And so it's interesting hearing this argument come from like a bigoted standpoint, because what they're saying literally is that it does not matter what she has in her pants. Like, look at her. You gonna tell me that that's a woman? And it's just like, can y'all not see how dangerous that is? Especially when you're taught, because they will, especially the alt-right, they will dumb down what it means to be a woman to body parts and to making sure that you can bear children. And so when there's women who can't bear children, who are, you know what I mean? Then now y'all are calling into question their womanhood. And so it's such a paradox. It's to watch transphobic people break their brains trying to categorize women like Imane. And also, people are just not thinking, why would Algeria send a trans person to represent them when being trans is illegal over there? Like, y'all have got to be kidding me. Y'all have got to be kidding me. So here is where I think progress might be made, maybe when, maybe in a couple generations or something. But my belief is that in a perfect world, sports would not be separated by gender. Sports would not be separated by gender. It's a corny separation because people think that women are so much weaker than men that they have to be in entire different categories. They have to be in entirely different leagues. I think that in a perfect world, you know, without the threat of sexual violence from men, I mean, in locker rooms, on the courts, in the ring, without the threat of sexual violence from men, in a perfect world, we would separate sports not by sex, gender, whatever, but by things like weight, strength, muscle mass, ability, skill level, experience, whatever, you know, something like that. But I think there's this belief in society that men are automatically, inherently weaker across all levels than men. And I'm just like, girl, if there is a woman who trained 6, 7, 8 years to be a boxer, you know, to be a fighter, and I take myself in a ring, I categorize, you know, y'all categorize me as a man, I take myself in the ring to fight, and I haven't trained to fight against this woman who has trained for years, who has worked out and trained for years to box, to fight, right? I'm going to get beat up. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't, just because I'm categorized as a man doesn't mean I'm inherently stronger than a woman who's been out here training, who's been out here lifting. You see what I'm saying? So separating sports by sex and gender, all that stuff, to me doesn't make any sense. In a perfect world, of course, in a perfect world. But like, you know, it doesn't make any sense if, you know, the force behind a punch don't depend on what's going on in the person's pants. It don't. It depends on if the person trained. It depends on their build. So why not just separate sports based on that? Why not? I think a lot of men would be uncomfortable with this because they would have to face the truth of it. They would have to face the truth that, like, the thing dangling in your pants does not make you inherently stronger than women, especially if they lift in the same amount as you, they punch in with the same force as you. So men would get beat up not only by men, but also by women too. And, you know, vice versa, whatever. But I think that it just makes it, these separations of categories in that way makes it seem like there's no possible way that a man and woman can fight fairly. It's like automatically women are weaker. And so I think that a lot of the issues with this would be dissolved if we separated sports in a completely different way. But I don't know if people are ready to do that, because sitting everyone down and separating them like boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl is really corny to me. But especially when intersex people get involved. Because now y'all brains are breaking. You don't know what to do. When intersex people get involved, you don't know what to do. People don't know what to do. The way that this society treats and talks about intersex people is so terrible, by the way. You know? So when they get involved and y'all done separated everything by sex, man, woman, male, female. And then an intersex person walks in, people are gonna lose their minds. And so I'm like, I could go on and on and on. I just think it's not it's becoming ridiculous, right? Yeah, but I find it interesting every time a woman who is assigned female at birth, you know, with all the body parts that people associate with that, I find it so interesting when they get dragged by transphobic people, because at the end of the day, clearly it's not about anything other than bigotry and society wanting to put people in categories so that you know, society can be comfortable. So the controversy was so bad that the International Olympic Committee had to come out and say that Imane was born a female. They said that this isn't even a trans issue because she has always identified as female and was assigned female at birth. The IOC expressed firm support of her participation, of Imane's participation and eligibility. And then Angela gonna come around here and apologize. She said, all this controversy makes me sad. I'm sorry for my opponent too. If the IOC said she can fight, I respect that decision. It wasn't something, I guess about like not shaking her hand at the end of the match. Angela said, it wasn't something I intended to do. Actually, I want to apologize to her and everyone else. I was angry because my Olympics had gone up in smoke. She added that if she ever met Imane Khelif again, she would embrace her. And it's just like, Angela, you took yourself to the literal Olympics, not a regular like street boxing match, not a little play match in the gym, like in a local gym. Like, you went to big international Olympics and got mad because you got punched hard. You need to find another thing to do. You need to find another passion, girl, because this one ain't it. And you talk about I ain't never got hit this hard, but you've been knocked out multiple times. Please get out my face. Please get out my face. Mama, you need to be working in the local coffee shop or something more relaxed, something more chill, since you complaining about getting punched at a boxing ring, in a boxing match. Like, you can't be serious. So, I don't know. Looking at this entire situation was like a masterclass in like dog whistles, transphobia, cisheteronormativity, the social constructs of gender, and most interestingly to me, it showed that clearly to a lot of these transphobic people, it takes more than just the equipment in your pants, to make them categorize you as either a man or a woman or whatever, right? Because even when you have that equipment, people will still be transphobic to you depending on your features, depending on, girl, your race. Like, that's why I think it helps no one to be transphobic. It does not make sense to be transphobic, because even cis women, even women assigned female at birth who are not trans, if they don't measure up to some of these standards, they will themselves be torn up by transphobic rhetoric. So yeah, I think we need different ways to categorize this stuff. And we just need people to use their brains. Like, I just want that. And I know that's way too much to ask from Americans in 2024. I mean, Americans, period. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Love y'all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Headlock, got him in a headlock. Music to my ears, I'm about to make your head pop. Headlock, got him in a headlock. Yeah, bitch, I'm gon' dip after making your dead.